And what is up, my magic miscreants? Risen Dragon here with yet another fun deck tech for you. So I said before that Mono Black is one of my favorite archetypes to play. Mono U is right up there as well. And for those of you that are new, Mono U is Mono Blue. Okay, and it's got some very fun quirks to it. Okay, when I first got back into Magic and Magic Arena about 4 years ago, it was actually a rather popular archetype for several reasons. One, it disrupts your opponent's strategies by bouncing creatures, countering spells, those sorts of things. But also, too, it is fairly cheap as far as money is concerned. This deck alone, $74, according to AetherHub. Look at my other decks, and you'll see that it is amongst the cheapest. So what makes this deck so good? Well, for a few things. One, like I said, it disrupts. We gain card advantage with a few cards. Plus also, two, we get some pretty big creatures out there, lock down our opponent, and go from there. So let's get into it. Okay, first card I want to look at is Combat Research. Now, for those of you that remember Ixalan, there was a card called Curious Obsession, where basically you attach it to a creature. It has to attack each turn, but whenever it deals combat damage whenever it deals damage to a player, you draw a card. This is kind of similar, except whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. As long as enchanted creature is legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has ward 1. Now, we're not running any legendary creatures, but even still, a really good card to have in your deck because it generates card draw, generates card advantage. Delver of Secrets. We are running, how many instants and sorceries are we running? 16 total. So the chances of us hitting an instant or sorcery and transforming this bad Larry, believe it or not as good as you would think. But at the beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If an instant or sorcery card is revealed in this way, you transform it, and it becomes a 3/2 flyer. Fading Hope, just to bounce some creatures back. Plus, we can scry if its mana value is 3 or less. Syncopate, really good spell to have. It counters the spell unless its controller pays X, and then it gets exiled if the owner cannot. Now, this is another cool card, Impede Momentum. Now, as a sorcery, this is a pretty dang good card. Tap target creature and put 3 stun counters on it, and then we scry 1. Okay, really good card to have, especially if we're shutting down their big guns for 3 turns. Actually, it's going to be 2 when all is said and done. But the only downside is it's not at instant speed, but that's, c'est la vie, that's okay. Make Disappear, another, counter spell. Excellent to have. We can sacrifice a creature and up the cost to 2. All right. Or I think we can choose new targets, but I'm not sure. Yes, we can choose new targets. All right. Suspicious Stowaway. This goes real well with Combat Research. Okay, because with this, it deals combat damage to a player. We draw a card, then discard a card. So basically, this negates that. We're still gonna have to discard a card, but we're gonna gain that card advantage. Plus, if it turns Nightbound, we don't have to discard. So again, these two together, really good combo. Aether Channeler, really interesting card here. We can choose one of 3 things. We can choose a white bird token. We can bounce another non-land permanent to its owner's hand, or we can draw a card. Okay, pretty cool card to have. Haughty Djinn. Okay, this is probably the coolest. Okay, its power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery spells in our graveyard, and they cost 1 less to cast. So again, comes in real handy. You get a bunch of these on the board, and you can automatically. This is going to go down in cost, and others too. Inventive Iteration. We're having 2 of these. It's kind of a cool saga because not necessarily for what the saga does as a saga, but when it becomes an enchantment creature, that's when it really can lock down our opponent. Up to 1 target creature, return it to its owner's hand. We can return an artifact from our graveyard, and if we can't, we draw a card. So again, we gain card advantage. We can exile it, and then we exile it, return it to the battlefield transformed, and your opponent, whenever you cast a spell, your opponents can't cast spells with the same mana value as that spell until your next turn. So really cool card to have. Now, again, we're only running up to CMC 4, or mana value 4, but even still, we can lock down our opponent's Devious Cover-Up. This spell can keep putting cards back into our library. We counter the target spell, and if it's countered, that spell gets exiled and put into our owner's graveyard. Then we can shuffle up to 4 target cards from a graveyard into your library. So spells can keep coming back with this card, including the cover-up itself. So again, really decent, solid card to have. Overall, I think this is a very fun deck to play. Can certainly disrupt our opponents. We look at our sideboard because we do play best of 3s. We have 4 Disdainful Strokes, we have 2 Negates, we have another Devious Cover-Up, we have 2 more Invented Iterations, we have 1 Consider, and 4 Shore-Ups. These can kind of come into play in place of, say, your Fading Hope or even your Impede Momentum if there are no creatures that are available. So overall, I think Mono Blue has a really good chance to make a comeback in this particular format. It's certainly a very nostalgic, very very effective strategy, very cheap as well, comparatively speaking with other cards. For those of you that don't know my channel or this is your first time visiting, we do a best of 1 and then we do a best of 3. Again, I'm one of the few YouTubers who actually does content creation for Magic Arena and do a best of 3. So I like to do that because you can see how the deck performs in both environments and you can make tweaks as you need to. So without further ado, let's get to the games. And we are against Black King for our best of 1 matchup. This we're going to keep because we do have some plays. Fading Hope is always a good one to do. If we're against mono... No, we're not against mono anything at the moment. Let's do this. Go away. Interesting. Okay, well. Well, this is not going to be fun if we can't draw land. That's not going to be fun. We against, like, a... Okay, so... Ah, there we go. Groovy. Okay. Cool. So we will need to discard down. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. We are going to create a bird token. Now watch, they're going to play something absolutely breathtakingly devastating to our plan. Depopulate, maybe? By invitation only? Meathook Massacre. That also. Not good. Alright, well, that's fun. So I think we're gonna hold off on anything. See if they throw down something here. No. Okay. So now it kind of becomes a, let's put this down. Or not. They might counter it. They're probably gonna. Yep. Oh, jeez, Wandering Emperor. What is that?
Feel the energy of battle. Then
this is an interesting deck.
Water. Let your blade do the talking.
What's that? Okay. Celestis. We're gonna keep doing that.
May your blade strike true.
Alright, well, this is not a huge deal. Let's impede momentum, so you can see how that works. me take care of this, and we'll...
I'm never
So they didn't
done
have
for
that.
good.
We do have the cover-up. We do have the cover-up, which is always a fun card to throw down. I'm going to turn it to night, I think. Maybe. Yep, maybe. Oh, no, they don't. Fairy. No. These are all coming back into our lineup. It does decrease. Okay. Bonus best of one coming, kids. We are against Nikusubi. Nikusubi. Okay. This is a cool one because we get Delver of Secrets down. Unless they have Cut Down, which is, of course, the new Blood Chief's Thirst. Okay, no, playing that. Oh, it's one of these decks, eh? We're going to reveal that. Never mind. My son is on the VR. We gotta do that. Never mind the dog, too. So as you can see, this is a very disruptive sort of deck. So we can't syncopate that, unfortunately. Nor can we do much of anything now. Alright, well. This is going to be what it is. I think Touch the Spirit Realm is going to be the next one. Or Machiko's Ring of Truth. Okay. Well, they can counter that, so, or they can pay the counter, so I'm not going to, throw Syncopate down there. Okay, that helps. So what we can do now is we can throw this to... We're going to return this to its owner's hand. We're going to swing in. And you can see that this is a very... And now it's completely disrupted the... now it's completely disrupted the flow of his... of our opponent's match here. Maybe not completely disrupted, but it definitely has... okay, that stinks. I knew that was coming. How did I know that was coming? Yeah, that's okay. So what we can do now is... You know what, let's swing in, just see what they do. Because now that comes down. Enchantments are still a thing? That's okay, that's fun. I'm fine with that. If they cast something big... Okay, we can't necessarily do that. But what we can do... You know what, let's do it. Yeah. You can sack that. So that's not going to be a thing. We're going to take some damage, but I'm okay with that. So unless they just throw down another Kami of Transience, which could very well happen. Or another Machiko's. Yeah, so enchantments are still a thing. How about that? So we will take 3 at least. Oh, no, we're going to take 6. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's fun. I think what we're going to have to do is just kind of hold up on the counter here. And, yeah, that's not fun. Really, now the only thing we can hope for is just bouncing stuff. So, you can see that against... Ooh, what is this? Oh, no, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, good game. Alright, let's go to the best of 3. We are against Major Riot. Major Riot is our opponent for our best of 3 matchup. This is a good hand. We get into a card draw, and we should be in good shape. Okay, Delver of Secrets comes down. Now we against Mono Black. Tenacious Underdog. Alright, well. Decline. No attacks. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, well. Let's just bounce this back. And go from there. Oh, great. That's fun.
Nobody knows Dominaria shadows like me. Ah, one of your friends has to leave.
Alright, well, we're gonna do this. Because at least we can get down... You know, make disappear is definitely a good option. And even if it doesn't do this, we can feed into the Jinn with the Devious Cover-Up. Yeah, Mono Black is no joke here. It really is not.
You
it's
won't
not
be
a,
outsmarting me.
Yeah, Mono Black is no joke in this format right now. It's definitely a very viable option, as you saw in my one of my earlier videos. Graveyard Trespasser, not today. Evolved Sleeper. Okay. Fun. Will, you go bye-bye.
I'll be back with friends.
Good job. So the Devious Cover-Up is obviously... Nice, buddy. The only downside to the Evolved... Well, not the downside. It's not a downside at all. Evolved Sleeper is a boss card. It really is. We got a ton of stuff in up our sleeve right now. And that's going to keep getting bigger, and we have to figure out a deal for this, because I don't want that. It's going to get bigger. So we're going to have to figure out how to manage that. That doesn't help too much. But put this down, and we certainly can see, they don't even have to cast any spells here. They can just buff this kid up until we get some bounce in our step, which is gonna happen. Okay, they don't buff it up. Fun. If you're a Trespasser, I'm gonna say no. And that's the cool part about that, having these two Djinns on the battlefield. That's a pretty cool thing to have. Now this is still an issue. We're not gonna attack. Because what we can do is whatever they cast, if they decide to cast something. Yeah, we're not gonna block. We're gonna play with fire here, because I really do think we can come back from this. We just get a bounce spell, and we're in good shape. That's gonna go bye-bye. So here's what we're gonna do. These. We are gonna put another Devious Cover-Up back into the fray. So that's always fun. Another Mantis. So now we are going to lose at least one of them. because we need to block that. And we don't have a choice. I just don't understand why they didn't buff that person up. Alright, well, if they've got Vampire's Kiss, then we're in a lot of trouble. Invoke Despair. Nope. Combat Research. Yep. So we need to draw something here. Not what I needed. So if they've got an invoked... Yeah, we're dead. Alright. So I think we played with fire a little bit too much on that one. But, certainly something to give our opponent pause to think about here. Now, the cool part about being in bronze is you can kind of experiment with your setups and your card builds and stuff, and it's not gonna impede your ranking at all. So, we'll see how this one goes. Again, it's a rainy day here in southern New Hampshire, central New England. Hope you're all having a fun Labor Day. Enjoy it. Me back to the grind this week. School started up last week. We had 3 days. Yep, 3 days of school last week. Had Friday off, which is always fun. And this week, actually, I have Friday off, too. It's my wife and I's 15th wedding anniversary, and we're taking a day trip somewhere. So, it's going to be fun stuff. Gonna be fun stuff. I think that, again, Mono U, I think, has such great potential in this format to kind of make a resurgence. I say that every format, and it never does. This one we don't have... Okay, this one's fine. And we do have Impede Momentum, which is good. We're going to do this. Fling the Fading Hope. With Impede Momentum, what we can do is... Because with Impede Momentum, what we can do is slow down their underdogs. Cut down is now happened. Duress. Oh, fun. No, not anymore, it's not. That's okay, though. Decline. Okay. Yeah, them taking a peek at my hand. Not always the best. Field of Ruin. Tenacious Underdog. Now see, with Delver of Secrets, you're either doing one of two things. You're either revealing everything but instants and sorceries, or you're revealing anything but instants and sorceries. It's one of those cards that on paper looks really good. Yeah, in front of us. I had a feeling that was coming out. On paper looks really good, but in practice, not so much. That's fun. That I can do with. That I can do. And with the Devious Cover-Up, we can just... Okay. So we're just going to trade, but I'm going to win this race if you're going to keep doing that. So. You gotta wonder, do we have a counter spell in there? Yeah, we're not going to be hooking anybody. Okay. No blocks. Invariably, they've got another Meat Hug Massacre. Okay, Evolved Sleeper. Again, the, whatchamacallit, that is a, basically an Ascendant Spirit for black. And of course, we draw all our lands. All our lands. We draw all our lands. Whenever we've got anything to reveal with the Delver of Secrets, we always, always, always draw our lands. Always. It's just the way it is. And of course, they're going to gain some card advantage here. we're gonna even the score, but this is not looking too good for us again. Now watch a land. Oh, reveal. Nice. Okay. So we've now got to be real careful with what we do, because we just didn't draw into any of our bounces, I think, on this particular one. Alright, we're gonna have to block both of these. So that's that. No. So we can hold our own. Good game. Alright, let's go to the postmortem. We can hold our own with this deck. And I think it's always good to show losses. That way I can get feedback from you kids and we can improve. So let's go to the postmortem. Okay, so I think mono blue definitely has potential. We got a bit unlucky with our draws there, but I think that, as you saw, it can hold its own in against some competitive decks such as mono black. I really think that there is room to grow for this particular deck in this particular format. So I really like what mono blue can do in this format. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you like what you saw, please leave a like, leave a subscribe, and as always, my magic miscreants, may all your draws be godlike, and may all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day.